All right, so officially, happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to Survive to Thrive. Get out pen and paper, get ready to take some notes. And the very first thing I want you to write down is measuring yourself against an ideal is an endless race to nowhere. Measuring yourself against an ideal is an endless race to nowhere. We all know where we want to be. We've all got goals. We have short-term goals, long-term goals, big, hairy, audacious goals. And if you have this vision, this ideal that's out in the future, and you constantly measure yourself against that, it is a moving target. It's like being in the desert and walking chasing that never-ending horizon, and you're never going to get there, and you're always measuring yourself against that ideal, and it is an endless race to nowhere. So what's the solution? Well, if you focus on what you lack, you lose what you have. That's the second bullet point I want you to write down. If you focus on what you lack, you lose what you have. What do most people do? Most people focus on what they lack. They have a car, but it's not the car they want. They live in a home, but it's not the home they want. They make money, but it's not the amount of money they want to make. They go on vacations, but it's not the vacations they want to go on. And it's never enough. And they're constantly focusing on lack. Well, when you focus on lack, what do you get? You get more lack. When you focus on debt, what do you get? You get more debt. When you focus on the things that you don't have, what do you get? You get more of the things that you don't have. Now, what's the solution? I'm going to get to that in just a second. If you focus on what you have, you gain what you lack. There you go. If you focus on what you have, you gain what you lack. So I'm going to go to the whiteboard and we're going to map this out. All right, so this is from The Gap and the Gain. If you haven't read the book, please read the book. And I realized that this is kind of give the light a moment to adjust. Is that any better? I know I'm in the dark, but can you read it now? I don't think so. All right, I'm going to turn the light back on just because I don't want to be in the dark, and I'll tell you what it says. Okay, so on the left side, you've got gap mentality. This is where we start. All of us have a starting point, and then we have an ideal. This is where we want to be. Now, at any given point, this is what we have achieved so far. What you want to do is you constantly want to visualize this ideal. You want to visualize the vision. This is where you want to be. However, in gap thinking, you're measuring where you are based on the ideal. You're measuring your level of success based on your ideal. In other words, it doesn't matter how much you've achieved because you're never going to be satisfied because you've never hit this ideal where you want to be. And you're constantly going to be focusing on lack because you've got gap mentality. Now, the solution is you still have a starting point and you still have this ultimate vision that you want to achieve. But the difference is when you focus on the gain, you're looking at where you are today based on where you started. How far have you come? Looking backwards, how much have you achieved since you started? And you measure your success based on how far you've gone versus how much further you have to go. It's really simple thinking, and you have to retrain your brain. By the way, this comes from The Gap and the Gain, the book. Read it. You have to retrain your mind thinks, because if you get stuck in gap thinking, you're never going to be happy. And it's not a matter of being happy. I'm not here today to talk to you about happy. I'm here today to talk to you about achieving more, living to your potential. And the way you're going to do that is by focusing on the gain and not the gap. All right, I'm going to transition to the way I look at this. And When I first started Survive to Thrive, which was 2020, and I started this Zoom call in 2020, April, because we were shelter in place because of COVID. And I needed a way to be able to reach out to all of the agents that I was working with, both part of the office that I was a team leader for at the time, and also the industry of agents that I worked with. And the only way I was going to be able to do that is to create a Zoom meeting, and we started Survive to Thrive. Now, how did I come up with the name? Let me explain that to you. All right. I believe that there's 5 levels of success as we go through life, and we all start with survival. So those levels are survival, stability, success, significance, and legacy. Now, if you look at them in a pyramid, survival is always down here at the bottom. That makes sense. And I also believe that survival can be one of the strongest places you can be, because what you will do when you are in survival is limitless. I mean, just think for a moment. If you had to close 3 sales this month, you had to close 3 sales this month to pay the mortgage, pay your rent, put food on the table and take care of your kids, put clothes on your kids' back, pay the bills, not be homeless. If you had to close 3 sales, there's absolutely nothing that would stop you. You wouldn't stop until you've hit that number, because you're in survival. It's being out in that boat that's a mile offshore and the boat sinks, and you have 2 choices. You can swim to shore or you can die. And there's no overthinking this. There's no paralysis by analysis. There's no getting ready to get ready. It's just swim. And what if you started every day with, I got to swim a mile to shore? That's my job every single day. By the way, that's your lead generation. What could you do if you had to? And my answer to that is absolutely anything, absolutely everything. Now, we move from survival to stability. Now, stability is a point where we're starting to have a little less stress. We're making a little more money. We're making a little bit more money consistently. We're not in survival. We're not fighting just to pay our bills every month and take care of our family. We're not living the life we want to live, but we're stable. Now, everybody goes from survival to stability. Now, the next level is success. As we go up this pyramid, it gets smaller as you go towards the top. That's because the number of people who reach each level of success is going to decrease as you move up. Now, when you move from survival to stability, the next level is success. Now, success means that you're starting to close 3 or 4 sales every month, or 4 or 5 sales every month. You are making enough money that you are paying the bills, supporting your family, and going on vacations. Maybe you've bought a nicer home. Maybe you're driving nicer cars. You're starting to have success. Now, here's the interesting thing about success, because I believe this is a trap. Let me explain what I mean by that. A lot of people will get to success, and to go from survival to stability is a matter of hard work and persistence. To go from stability to success is a matter of hard work and persistence. To go from success to significance is a choice. You can live your entire life in success. Brian, who won the award for #2 individual agent for most units closed with EXP in the United States, could live his entire life in success and never go to significance. Well, those of you who know Brian know that he made the choice to go to significance. Now, significance is when it goes from your success to other people's success. When you start having a mindset that you're a leader, that you are a servant leader, that you are here to help others, you're moving from success to significance. Now, the highest level of success is legacy. And the thing about legacy is a lot of times you won't see the results of what you've done that changed the world because you were here until after you're gone. In other words, you may never see it, but we will. And we can study history and study people who have absolutely changed the world simply because they were here, the impact that they had on our lives is absolutely amazing. You know, I think of Norman Borlaug. You're like, what? Who? Who's that, John? So he won the Nobel Peace Prize for creating a seed that would grow in hybrid climates. And he was credited with saving billions of lives. Now, he died not even knowing this, by the way. And you would go, holy cow, he's amazing. What a difference he made. But then if you look into the story further, you'd realize that was it really him that saved those billions of lives, or was it the professor when he was in college that got him excited about studying how to do this that ultimately led to saving billions of lives? Now, you can follow this story all the way back through George Washington Carver. And you could go all the way back to Moses Carver in Diamond, Missouri, who saved George Washington Carver's life when he was a little boy. Had he not done that, maybe Norman Borlaug never would have done what he did. It's the butterfly effect, guys. When a butterfly flaps its wings, the theory is a butterfly can flap its wings on the coast of Africa and set into motion molecules that will create a hurricane on the eastern coast of the United States. It's the butterfly effect. And there's so many people in our lives, they come and go, who are butterflies. They flap their wings and change the world. It's legacy. Now, here's the other thing about how this works. You can go from survival to stability to success and have crisis and end up back in survival. I can think of 3 times in the last 22 years where I had worked my ass off consistently, persistently, hard work, following up, hitting the standards, moving up this pyramid to success, and bam, adversity. And we're back to survival. And here we go again. We're fighting to get back up that ladder. And here's what happens every time that happens to you. I want you to think of the following words. Adversity is preparation for greatness. So when you find yourself in that position where you've gone from survival to success, and all of a sudden adversity hits, and you're back here in survival, you're stronger. You're stronger for having gone through that adversity. And then here's the thing about that. We are all either in adversity, heading for adversity, or coming out of adversity. It's just part of being on this planet. Now, if I asked you, where are you today? Where are you from survival to stability to success to significance? And I'm going to leave legacy up there at the top and say none of us are there yet. Because I think legacy, for me, and it's just my opinion, and I could be wrong, but I think legacy is what other people experience because you lived, because you were here. You may never, you probably won't see the impact that you had on the world because it won't show up until you're gone. So just you're either in survival, stability, success, or you're in significance. Where are you today? Remember, from survival to stability to success is about hard work and persistence. It's about sticking to those daily standards. And a standard is non-negotiable, which means for me, I'm going to schedule 3 appointments every single day, and I'm not going to stop until I do. Now, as long as I continue to hit those standards and I follow up persistently and consistently, I'm going to constantly move up from survival to stability to success. Significance is a choice. For me, this coaching call is about significance. Where are you? Where do you want to be? What's your legacy? What are you doing to create a legacy for those who follow you? All right, guys, that's a wrap. Talk to me.
Well, this came at a good time since I'm still doing my 2025 planning. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to rewatch this again to make sure that I've got everything in line with my goals for 2025.
Well done, Sean.
Yeah, gap and gain, really resonated with me so well. I think I usually focus by nature on the gap part,
Everybody
and
does.
I have to consciously work on myself to start shifting to the gain model.
Absolutely, Rowan.
John, this call has been you personally have been so significant to me. And I just want to tell you that I'm driving, so my video's off, but I think I'm approaching a year, and just your message always leaves an impression on me every single call that I get the privilege to make it to. And I have to say, I'm in a place of adversity, and I could very easily fall back into struggle. And I just feel like I'm killing it because of, showing up and these calls. Thank you.
You got it. I do not deny my current reality. I deny its finality. This too shall pass. Hey, by the way, a win for me is to look up and see Daryl on the call. Daryl, we've missed you. Thank you for being here, my friend. That gives us 2 in Los Angeles and 1 in Anchorage, Alaska on our morning Survive to Thrive call, guys. That's so cool. Find somebody. Here's a challenge for everybody. Find somebody international to get on this morning call. It doesn't matter where they are. Let's get them on this call. Let's start reaching out outside the United States.
I think the comment of survival to stability was really significant.
Yeah.
Because there's so many agents that are just churning, trying
Yeah.
to survive
Yeah.
and get to a stable place in this market right now.
That's right.
I mean, we just got out of a convention with 4,000 people. We heard a lot of stories, right? Like those people are hopefully on the verge of stable to creating a legacy, right? But
Right.
it's those daily tasks. I mean, it all comes back to doing the daily tasks every single day,
That's right.
regardless of the outcome,
That's right. Here's the saddest thing for me, guys, and I'll use a personal story here, and I think we need to wrap it up because I do have a coaching appointment at 9:30. The saddest thing in life is not failure. The saddest thing in life is we've almost achieved, and there we are. In other words, so many of us give up right before massive breakthrough. I remember being on a plane flying to Austin, Texas, by the way, guys, back in 2002, sitting next to my team leader at the time. I had 4 deals pending. I'd been in the real estate business for 6 months. I had closed 1 sale so far, and I was running out of savings and contemplating going back to the corporate position I had prior to getting into the real estate. And I looked at my team leader, and all 4 deals had challenges. And I said, if these 4 sales don't close, I'm going to have to go back to my job. I was that close to giving up. And they closed. I sold 60 houses in the next 6 months. And I'm here talking to you today. That could have changed, could have been a different outcome. It almost was. And some of you are at that point right now. I know you are. And I know you're probably on your camera looking at me thinking, he's talking to me. He knows what I'm going through. Well, whether I do or not, I promise you I'm talking to everybody here. I'm talking to myself. Okay.
Well, and John, thank you for this call, because I think everybody shows up. We hold ourselves, each other accountable when we show up to this call, and
right.
Most people don't have that, so we appreciate it. Or they have it in front of them, they just don't take advantage of it.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Well, I'm here every day, 4 years running. I'll be here 4 years from now, God willing. Y'all make it a great day. I'm very grateful to have this opportunity to be on your journey with a destination that is assured. Remember that you're going to face those dream bullies who are going to tell you that you're never going to achieve your goals. You're also going to find dream champions who are going to tell you, you've got this. You can do this. I'm your dream champion. I'm here to take this journey with you. Don't ever give up. You've got this. You can do this. Make it a great day, everybody.
See y'all tomorrow.
All right.
Thank you, John.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, guys, go get them.